Hey guys, we're here from Radiant Clean. Today we're doing another roof. It's that time of year where everybody's seeing how dirty their roofs are. I believe this house is going up for sale, so we can get onto that second story up there via this roof. So I'm gonna just do an initial inspection. We're letting the water tank fill, and then we'll start wetting down the house or the surrounding grass, because as you can see there are no gutters. So unfortunately, when there's no gutters, it means all of the SH, all of the bleach is going to run off into the grass. So we need to account for that. I probably need to move the ladder back here to get up on the lanai roof. So all right, well, we're gonna get the water filled, start wetting down, do a pre-wet, and then as always, while I'm applying the chemical up on the roof, we'll be wetting down any overspray and obviously runoff. Then when we're done applying the chemical, we'll wet it again, use some bleach neutralizer, and make sure we're killing as little grass as possible. So let's get these hoses pulled. And I've had a couple questions from people why we pull out the hoses. So it's not because the reels are broken, it's because these kink at the connection here. So when this rolls, it kinks. And so we pull out that and the soft wash hose. You can see it's kinked right there. So that inhibits the flow. So we pull those out all of the way to get better flow. So not broken reels, just kind of a hazard of those big hoses. They tend to kink. So we're gonna get this started getting wetted, and then we'll meet you up on the roof. All right guys, we're up here on the roof and you can see it's pretty dirty. So I'm gonna start in the back here. I've got to climb up. Start in the back here, but I got to climb up on this roof. If I can get up here. It's always fun. Pretty steep one. This hose is getting kinked. Get too close to that edge. So. It's a pretty steep roof, so I'm trying to stay away from that edge. Dante, spray that window for me. Window? Yeah. had to move the ladder to get this roof over the lanai. Pull the hose a little bit more. Dante's continuing to wet the runoff from the front. Hopefully this little roof will hold me. This one's not very dirty. I guess it is in spots. I tried for our surfactant, I've tried a new one, Eliminator, has a lemon smell. And normally I don't smell our surfactants that much, but I'm actually smelling lemon on this one. So a lot of times the smell is not as noticeable, but it's not like a really strong smell or anything. It doesn't cover the smell of the bleach. A lot of people will say that they use surfactant to cover up the bleach. I've never found that it actually does that. Maybe I'm not using enough surfactant, I don't know. Or maybe I just smell bleach all the time because that's what I work with all the time. But I've never had surfactant really cover the smell. Some people say that their customers are a little sensitive to the smell of bleach, so that's why they use surfactant, but yeah, I don't think it really makes that much difference, frankly. There's debate whether surfactant's really even necessary when you're doing a roof. I know some people don't use it. They just use straight SH and water, and I think I'm going to experiment with that. We're using a decent mix of surfactant today. You can see that's some of the white bubbling that you see there. There's also some of the yellowish kind of runoff that you see. That's partly mold and mildew running off, but it's also the color of the surfactant, which is bright yellow. Surfactant is not cheap, so I think if you can get away without using it, it would definitely save us some money, increase our profitability. The theory is that the surfactant clings to the roof better. That may be true. You can still see a decent amount of runoff even with surfactant, so I'm not sure that it really has the impact that some people think it does. Now there's also the argument that surfactant will help suspend and lift the dirt and grime and stuff. That is also true, but how effective it is at doing that, I'm not sure. So like I said, I think we'll experiment with it. Do a section of roof without surfactant and do one with surfactant, see how it comes out. Alright guys, so this has been drying for a little bit. It is quite a bit better than it was. It will continue to lighten as the sun hits it and it dries off a little bit more. But it was pretty dirty before and looks a lot better. So I don't know if it really needs any touching up anywhere. Looks pretty clean. So they didn't want us to do the driveway or anything. At least they didn't mention it, so I'm not doing that today. But as I've said in previous videos, we don't rinse the roof. We let it dry so that it continues to, the bleach continues its magic, and then when it rains, it'll wash off the residual mold and mildew and stuff. So we're just going to do a final walk around and rinse of the plants and stuff, because again, there was no gutters, so we try to avoid browning as much as possible. But we'll do a walk around, make sure that that's all rinsed off, and we'll roll up the hoses and we'll get out of here. Okay guys, we'll catch you later. Have a great day. Bye.